Hello. There you are. Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Just barely. I need to make some adjustments on my side here. Mm-hmm. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. You're a little quiet. Let me toggle around here a little bit. Oh, and I got my screen reversed.
That seems about right.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. Can you hear me better?
I just adjusted my screen. I haven't
Oh.
adjusted my audio here. Let's see.
You're it's like a little hum in your microphone.
Well,
I'm not real sure what that is.
hello?
Hello?
No, that's better. Is the hum still there?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what that is. I heard it before you put your headphones on. So,
Hmm.
does your computer have another microphone?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Let me.
Something weird. It's there, but it's not overly distracting.
Well, let's see. You still hear it?
No. Now it's gone.
Okay. I didn't have my noise removal on, so.
Oh, okay.
Okie doke. So,
Uh,
you are at home?
yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. We've got this week and next week for virtual meetings, and then we'll be
Okay.
back at the library. So, anything new going on with you?
No, not that I can think of. Let's see.
Well,
I'm just waiting for my daughter to come back from running a day-long series of errands, and I'm not sure what was on the list today, but she said she'd be gone most of the day, and she is my nominal babysitter. My wife is still in California,
okay.
getting the house ready to sell, and decluttering, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. I mean, we've been in that house for 38 years, and needless to say, we have accumulated a lot of stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah.
this will be my second move from coast to coast. So it's, but as I say, we have accumulation uh, galore.
I,
Hopefully we can get it sold by sometime around the end of the year
yeah.
or early next year.
Well, my sister has been looking for a house. She finally found one. Of course, she's not looking in California. She's looking here. Um, but every single house that she looked at, every one of them, she'd get on them right as they got listed, and by the time she called the realtor, they had been sold.
Yeah,
Every single one of them.
yeah. Real estate is here in Ohio is moving fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure what it's doing in Fremont, California, but we'll see. But
Yeah.
we got a lot of stuff to uh,
Well,
either get rid of or give away
yeah.
or decide to
Move
we're
across the
gonna
country.
yeah, and that's not an inexpensive process,
No.
but the
No.
reality is we got a lot of stuff. We got furniture, and we've got uh,
Well, you've got
a lot of the stuff that we've got there is just going to be go to Goodwill or one of the charities.
yeah.
But some of the furniture will be coming here. We've got like I forget what the count is, 16 or 17 bookcases and the contents thereof, although a lot of that has been disposed of to places like half price books and so forth and so on. So it's quite a process. The difference is the last time around when I moved from New Jersey to, um, I guess at that time it was Palo Alto, California, uh, or Mountain View. And the big difference is that I had a company that was paying the bill. This time I'm paying the bill.
You're paying the bill. Yep.
Well, the bigger bill is going to be the tax, the capital gains on
Yeah.
it. So,
Well.
in any case, it will come out net positive. So, and I'm immobile enough that I can't do any helping out there. My role is at least partially what stays and what goes.
Right.
And since a large, more significant portion of the stuff in that house is my accumulation, it means that basically we are on conference calls regularly. Uh, just a moment. Can I get a couple of teas?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okie doke. Thank you. Um, my daughter just arrived back from her activities of the day.
Yep.
So
Well,
what's going on with you?
not much really. I have I've been working on getting the sign. Hi, daughter.
Yeah,
She
this
can't.
is Cap.
She
This is Cap. This
she
is
can't hear me.
Catherine.
She can't hear me. You got your headphones on.
That's true.
Who is that?
It's Leroy.
Who is that?
That's Leroy.
Hi, Leroy.
Hi.
I'm gonna go. Do you want the door closed?
Um, yeah, probably, but
Oh, okay.
so she's my one of two caregivers I've got. I've also got a person who comes in 3 days a week and helps me
Yeah.
with bathing and so forth and so on. So, you know, it's the classic comment, don't get old. Although, as I said that once to a friend of mine, a colleague who was just turning 50. This was a long time ago because he was 8 years older than I am. And he said, yeah, but I don't like the alternative. So
Right.
speaking of which, you were off for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Was that your dad or?
Oh, he passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he passed away on the 5th.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. I
Was this, he was talking about going to Cleveland all that time?
We were talking about sending him to Cleveland. He did not want to go to Cleveland. He just progressively got worse, and eventually he got to the point where the doctors did not know what was wrong with him, and the medicines they were giving him really weren't helping him, and he just kind of faded. You know, it actually happened pretty well. They moved him from rehab and into long term, and when they moved him into long term, that was a week and a half, and he was gone. So
Sorry to hear that.
yeah,
So was he in hospice at all?
the last, I would say the last 3 weeks they had hospice care.
Okay.
But it was, I think everybody, well, I won't say that. I think those of us who went up there and spent time with him knew that it was coming.
Okay.
Um,
And
I mean,
well, what, a sister?
I've got a sister, yeah. I when you go up, when you go, or when I went every day or every other day, I mean, you could just see it every day. He was just getting a little bit worse and worse and worse. So I knew it was coming. I wasn't really ready for it, but I knew it was coming.
I don't think any of us are ever ready for it. Both my parents spent the last, in my mother's case, I think it was 6 weeks in hospice care. And fortunately, in Columbus, they had pretty good hospice care there, but they were
They
were
the Mount Pleasant where he was at, they're really good. Their rehab center and their long-term care, they're really very good. And then hospice came in and redid all the meds and everything. I got him off of stuff that he really didn't need to be on, and I think hospice got involved a little too late, probably, to really make a big difference.
well, the one thing they do, and this is certainly true of everybody I know who's gone through hospice, is they take off a lot of restrictions on pain medications so that they're no longer, you're no longer worried about them becoming addicted to opiates and that sort of thing. So the purpose of hospice care, as I understand it, is just to make the patient comfortable.
Yeah. Well,
and keep them comfortable.
And they did a really good job of it. They sat with him all night long, every night that he was there. I really can't complain about what hospice did. I just think they got involved a little late in the process.
Yeah, well,
because my mom used to work at a hospice facility, and she said that she had seen people after they get them off of the medicines that don't work or aren't helping or whatever, people have actually improved and gotten out of hospice and went on to live a fairly long life. So, but you got to get involved early for that to happen.
Yeah. Well, my condolences to you, but
thank you. I actually thought, well, I sent a message out. I thought you had known what was going on. But,
well, I assumed it was your father, but I didn't realize that he had passed. So,
yeah. Funeral was, I don't know. It's those 2 weeks kind of all blend together.
yeah.
The funeral was real nice. Vicente came to the funeral, and Mike Sullivan came to the funeral.
Okay.
Apologies,
I didn't even know it was happening, so.
Well, it's all right. No, you're fine, Steve. You held the group together while I wasn't around.
That doesn't take a lot.
Well, send out a meeting notice and hope somebody shows up. But anything new going on?
No, I'm finishing up 3D prints for the little baby rack.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Cool.
So you're officially a grandfather now?
Technically, yes, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, what baby rats are we talking about?
Rack, R-A-C-K.
O-R-A-C-K. Oh, I thought you were talking about Rugrats
Now,
as a grandfather.
now I've got a little 10-inch wide 9U rack that has 4 nodes, about 48, maybe 50 cores, 128 gigs of RAM, lots of drive space. It's a cool toy. I plan on bringing it to one of the meetings as soon as I can.
Is it
Yeah.
mobile? Is it sufficiently mobile, or
Oh
do you
yeah.
have to roll it on wheels?
No. It's about a foot by 2.5 feet.
Okay.
Sorry. I've think I've seen pictures of it. It's really cool. It's a cool little baby rack.
Yeah.
Pick it up,
Yeah,
carry it around.
I got pictures. Hold on. Well, I mean, for that, give me a moment. Be right back.
He's going to go get it.
Oh, okay.
It really is kind of cool. It's a little box, bunch of stuff in it. I've been working on this moving message sign that I have been working on the past couple of weeks, and I finally got it very, very, very close to being done. Actually, it probably is done.
Oh, cool.
Oh, this is baby rack.
And it's very cool. How heavy is it?
I'm thinking 35 pounds. I mean, all of the power supplies are in it. It's got the 4 little computers and 2 more little computers and 3 more power supplies. It's pretty solid.
Yeah. So you put a strap on it and you could carry it pretty easy, or put some
Yeah.
wheels on it and push it around.
Ooh, I wouldn't want to do that. Any wheels that'd be anywhere near scale would be way too firm. I don't want to bounce this thing too much.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
there's no spinning drives in it. The only thing in it that moves are the fans,
Yeah.
and it's got what, 6 of those. Well, plus 4 in the little dells at the bottom. But yeah, it's coming along well. It does all of the things I want it to do that I've been able to test with it only partially complete. I'm trying to figure out how to write a script so that it can automatically load the Cincinnati Library web page and push the I accept button for their Wi-Fi. Oh, and there's a filter that covers the whole front of it that's held on with magnets. That's downstairs.
Neat.
Toys. But heavy enough, I don't want it on my lap, so I'll be right back.
All right. That is, he's going to have to tell us if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is a backup. All his websites and everything are backed up to it, so it could.
Oh, okay.
So if his main website computer goes offline, it can instantly pop on and do its thing. Now, that I'm right in thinking that has all your websites and stuff backed up to it, right?
Not yet. That's what it's for.
Okay. Okay.
Currently, websites are backed up to a 30 terabyte NAS that I built about 2 years ago. I had planned on starting to buy larger drives for it, but now a larger drive for it costs as much as I spent on the entire thing.
Yeah.
And it's got 5 8 terabyte drives.
Yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself because I should have bought right before everything went insane, there was like a 22 terabyte drive for $280, and I was like, I ain't spending that on a drive.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
So, what is the forecast? When are the prices going to come down again?
Yeah.
Well, do they have a reason to lower them?
When everybody stops using AI, then maybe the prices will come down.
Not only will they come down, you'll be able to buy a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Well, so it's hit drives and it's hit RAM.
And processors and graphics.
It's pretty much everything at this point. Yeah.
This is just because supply demand far exceeds supply, or is there some other reason that I'm unaware of?
Well, one of the major manufacturers of PC RAM pretty much had said they're not making consumer grade stuff anymore. So that hits the consumer grade RAM market.
Well, so why is that? Why
Because they can make more money selling RAM to the data centers.
Yeah, but at some point in time, all these data centers are going to be filled up, or
We'll build new.
They just will swap stuff around.
I guess there's some point in the economics here which I am totally missing altogether, but maybe the problem is I'm missing AI. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I so reluctantly AI helped me build my sign.
Hey, help you build what?
The moving message sign. It
Oh,
which you can't see because I've got a background on.
yeah.
Um AI.
So you're saying that you are contributing to the economic problem?
I am contributing to the problem. Oops. I hit the wrong button. There we go. So the funny thing is well, this sign I am fairly sure was made in like 1997. I mean, it is a old sign. So the original documentation for it disappeared, and anything that I had found on the website or on archive.org or anywhere was still talking about it had parts of version 1 software in it, which was good enough to start, but wasn't good enough for actually figuring stuff out. And most of the documentation was for version 2 or version 3 of the firmware that's built into the sign. So trying to talk to it using a version 2 firmware codes, it just kind of sat there and looked at you like you were stupid. Because it's got version 1. Eventually I found the original documentation, not the original, I found revision A of the original documentation, which cleared up a whole lot of stuff, but not everything. So reluctantly I asked Gemini about this sign, and Gemini just started spitting out all kinds of do this and do this and do this, and it's like the sign just started working. So somewhere deep inside of Gemini, it had the original documentation for this thing, and it knew what the sign was, and it knew what the protocol was to talk to it. And not everything worked that Gemini said, but most of it worked. And then when I finally found the original documentation for it, or close to the original documentation, I went through and we verified. Me and Gemini verified that some of the stuff that we couldn't get to work actually does work. So it's been a process, but it reluctantly it was far faster to use AI to get this thing working than me sitting there just throwing a bunch of codes at it over and over and over again and seeing what happens.
Okay.
So last week, I was actually sending the time from the ESP32, was actually updating the time. We figured out, or we found the proper codes to actually set the internal clock on the sign. So when you see the time and date now, that's coming off the sign. That's not coming from the ESP32. So it has its own clock. It's not a battery backed up clock, so you still have to set it every time you disconnect the power, but it keeps okay-ish time. At least it's good enough. It's close enough. From what I could tell, it's probably about a minute off. But
A minute and how long?
yeah, exactly. It doesn't have any kind of code to get the seconds displayed. So
I was just thinking it'd be kind of fun to let it run for 3 months and see how far off it is. Because it's almost certainly got to be doing that in software, unless it's got a what is it, the 9217 chip or something, 7219, little
Well,
DS chip.
yeah, it doesn't have a real time clock. And from what I've been able to gather, it's just doing it with the crystal oscillator that's in it. So eventually it's going to lose time.
Or gain it.
Or gain it, yeah.
Those are real high quality crystals.
Yeah, well, and they're what, 20 some 20 some odd years old at this point. So it's amazing it works at all. It's not battery backed up. Some of the bigger signs do actually have a real time clock in them and are battery backed up. But you know, you probably noticed some of the transitions now, how it changes and how it holds the time on the screen. I like this transition. This particular one it's doing right now. That's one of my favorite.
It's a good quote there too.
What did the judge say to the dentist? Do you swear to pull the tooth, the whole tooth, and nothing but the tooth? Bad dad jokes. Bad dad jokes coming across my screen.
Yeah.
The I mean, I kind of hate to say it, but Jim and I made this project so easy. And then it even documented the project for me.
Okay, I will give that the documentation that a lot of AI comes up with is nice.
Yeah.
I still want it to get off my lawn.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get nearly as frustrated with it this time around as I did the first couple of times that I used it. Maybe I'm just getting used to what to ask or how to ask it. But
Or becoming more tolerant of frustration.
oh, well, it writes really good documentation though. You feed it what it's got, and it writes it in markdown format, so you get all the extra niceties. But I would say it is one of those things. Even Gemini said, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, asking an AI to build a program or something, you're just going to be frustrated with the whole process. I'm like, yeah, I could see that. But I after a couple of days with using Gemini, it seemed like I started running low on tokens or something, because it started making some silly mistakes that were easy enough to catch, but if you don't know what you're looking at in the first place, you're just going to, you know, think that the mistakes are normal and try to put them in your program. I don't know if it had started hallucinating or what its problem was.
Oh, do AIs hallucinate?
Yes, they do.
Gemini, you can call it out too. If you think it's hallucinating, tell it, and it will shift its logic and do other stuff. It probably still hallucinating, but it'll do other stuff because you called it out on it. And it got stuck. One of the control codes did not work, and it swore up and down that it would work. And it got stuck every time we tried something new. It would put the control code that I knew for a fact wasn't working. So I just replaced it with the control code that was working. But Gemini insisted that what it was telling me was right. And I'm like, it's not right. Stop telling me this. It's not right. But the documentation says this. No, it doesn't. I don't care what it's telling you. I'm telling you it doesn't work. But overall, the experience was a whole lot less frustrating, and it really did save a lot of time, because trying to make this sign work with documentation that was written for newer signs just was it really was not working right, and nothing made sense. So found the control code to make it beep. Found a whole lot of just these transition effects and a speed effect for it, which doesn't really work the way you would think a speed effect works. It's more of a hold time, like this animation that moves up the screen. If you set the speed to go slow, it moves slower up the screen. But the speed effect doesn't have anything at all to do with this. So this will always scroll that fast.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, I know. I pretty much said the same thing. Like, so
You need to argue with Claude on that.
no, it actually says it in the documentation. After I found the original documentation, it became very clear what they meant by speed. They do not mean speed, they mean hold times. They just, for whatever stupid reason, they call it speed in the version 2 documentation. But see, I think it was more frustrating reading the documentation for the sign that wasn't written for this sign. Finding something that was a little closer to what was actually written for this sign made it a whole lot easier just to deal with it. If that makes sense. So, anything else? Anything? I think last week I had said that DigiKey had some stuff that didn't have tariffs. So that's the M5 stack, tab 5. And this sucker is power hungry. I think the only way I'm going to get it to actually boot up is with the phone charger. I bought it without the battery because that was the one that they had without tariffs on it. So I bought a battery for it. Should be here in a couple of days. Hopefully, having a battery, I could actually plug it in and program it.
That's bright.
It's bright.
Yep.
It is bright.
Is it just me, or is it the hum that is fading and coming on and off? I get a background hum.
I was trying to play some music that's in the demo.
No, this is just a simple background hum.
I don't hear it.
Okay, it must be at my end of the wire.
Let's see. I dimmed the backlight down to 20% and it's still too bright
Very bright.
it's still too bright for the camera to see. It has a camera built in which you can't see. it has it's an ESP32P4 chip, and it has a C6 chip for the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Threads compatible controller. SD card. It's got some sort of weird expansion port which I've not seen before. It's got a Grove port. It's got one of those little I don't know what those ports are called. The other port that Adafruit supports and SparkFun supports, that little tiny port. It's got one of those, and it can take the M5 stack module. It's got one of the module headers on it. It's like this thing is just full of I/O.
How much?
Well, if you can get it from DigiKey for the going price is $55. It was $9 to have it shipped, and it was $3 in tax or something. It was $64 all total. It's about $10, shipping and tax. If you can still get them without the tariff, then that's the way to get them, because they're at least $100 if you have to buy one with the tariff price. And the battery for it ended up costing $12. So M5 sells it with a battery for, I believe, $65. So I paid a little tiny bit more than I should have for the battery, but close enough. But for whatever reason, DigiKey, the one that has the battery, has the tariff on it, and I don't understand that. So they are effectively the same. So they have, I don't know if you can read that or not. Let's see. Make it bigger. Make it bigger. There it goes.
$60 with the battery? That's not bad.
Yeah, but then you add the tariff. Yeah.
What's the battery it uses? Is it easy enough to get?
I found them on eBay for $12. So I paid a little bit more than I should have, but I'm still well below the $100 thing if I would have paid the tariffs. It is this weird battery. I paid a little bit more for this battery because it's got the USB charger built into it. It's this weird battery though.
It
Which
looks like one that used to be used on the little
cam-
8 millimeter VCRs. V,
camcorders. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's if you type in it is well, now it's not showing it. Sony. It's a Sony.
Ah,
So if I had to guess, there were a crap ton of those batteries in China, and
somebody said, let's make a product that uses them.
yeah, somebody said, "Oh, we should use those." They're not horrible batteries. They're 200 and 2,200 milliamp hour, 7.5 volt batteries. 7.4 volt.
Cool. Yeah.
So they're not horrible batteries. It's just, you know. And they even make that particular battery in bigger. Of course, bigger means paying more, but they've got a 2,900 milliamp hour, and I think I saw a 3,200 milliamp hour in that particular battery. And I'm pretty sure the one that M5 Stack is giving you is 1,800. So they've made that battery in like all kinds of different forms or sizes. I keep hearing people outside. Where does it say about the battery? $2,000. So I bought one that's a little bit bigger. So. Probably paid a little bit more than I should have, but it's got the charger built into it, and that's nice. I don't have to leave the microcontroller on while I'm charging the device. I can just charge the battery. Do what?
I'm hearing a hum.
I might be pretty low.
I muted my audio. Did the hum go away?
It has gone away, yes. Now,
Interesting. I don't know what that was because I didn't hear it.
hmm. Okay.
Maybe when I started playing music, it did something weird. I don't know. Here we go. Yes, $300 seems like such a good deal. Ah. It's a good thing I didn't really need a hard drive. So, how much storage space do you have, Steve?
Total? Or
Yeah.
the one largest? Or so total? Um, about 80 terabytes,
Wow.
30 in one unit. I've got three, so that's 30 available. And then I've got three terabyte each NVMe storage clusters. I, I believe in storage.
Yeah.
I've got piles of individual drives.
My well, dad's wife, she doesn't know what all these electronics and all this stuff is. And she was about ready to throw out a 5 terabyte hard drive.
Okay.
And I said, I don't think we want to do that.
Golly, why?
I said, not only does it probably have all Dad's research and everything on it for the books that he wrote, which might be something that the Historical Society would want to keep, it's 5 terabytes. And they're not cheap.
I think I would have just quietly asked for it as a remembrance and shut up.
I don't want to erase.
Yeah.
I don't want to
yeah.
erase the stuff. But yes, I mean that was kind of my thing was, please let me have that. That was Dad's. Oh, okay. I really don't know how I haven't I really don't know how much stuff he's using. I had gotten him a 1 terabyte drive, which I have no idea where that went. And what he's got now is a 5 terabyte drive. So I don't know when he switched. He didn't tell me he was switching. He just quietly did it all on his own. I don't know where the 1 terabyte drive went. I don't think she would have thrown it out. Dad may have taken it to the Historical Society. I don't know.
So these little 2.5-inch spinning drives,
Yeah.
I've got 6 within reach and a box on the shelf that has 10 or 12, and every single one of them is duplicated. I set up one Raspberry Pi just to
Duplicate.
do that. So they're numbered. I always plug them in pairs, and what gets written to one gets copied to the other. But yeah, this one, uh, 2 terabytes. Yeah. And they're all in little carrying cases, and all the little carrying cases have their own cord, so
Right?
I can just grab one and run.
You're way more organized with that stuff than I am. I just have stacks of drives.
Because I have lost them before. Physically and
Yeah.
spiritually. Oh no, where did that go? And a lot of them have a little sticker on the back. It's not going to focus. Anyway, that says S3.
Yeah.
That means that this one is encrypted with password 3 from sheet S.
Makes sense. Now, luckily, Dad's stuff was not encrypted. I'm not even sure he understood what that was. So,
So I have 3 small arrays. They're 3 terabytes storage each. One in the rack that will hold drive images. One will be at one of my kids' house, and one will be in the basement. And I'm using SyncThing between them, but they'll be encrypted on the remote ends. So, yeah, the one here isn't encrypted and it's fast, and I'll do a sync nightly probably. I got to find out how long it takes once it's at his house. But yeah, I love my kids, but they don't need to see all of my storage stuff.
they just need to store my stuff. They don't need to know what they're storing.
Yep. Plausible deniability. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I am glad that I kept a hold of all the old 1 terabyte drives and all the, well, I've got quite a few 2 terabyte drives. And I'm glad I kept a hold of them and didn't get rid of them. But they are way small.
Yeah. So one of the things I did, and the Pi deals with it, I have a NAS, so I have network storage.
Yeah.
When I plug in a drive, it does a scan, it gets a signature for all the files on it, and I can keep track of how many duplicates I have of any file. That's handy. Everything is on a minimum of 2 drives. There are a few things that are on 3 drives, and I can put those in a list. And otherwise, yeah, if I stick on a drive and it goes through and it sees 200 new files, it'll back those up to the NAS along with their signature and keep track of how much space they need and put them on a second drive somewhere.
Okay.
Bash scripting is a wonderful thing. It takes it about 3 hours to go through that list and sort out what goes where, but I can look at, it's just flat text. I can look for any file, for any date, whatever, and see what drives it's on, load up the drive and verify it's there.
I have stuff probably, well, I lost 1 drive. I recovered probably 90% of it, but I have stuff dating back to like early internet, when I first got email and stuff like that. And I'm starting to get to the point that I'm not real sure why I'm keeping some of this stuff, some of these files. I haven't looked at them in like 20 years. It's like, why am I keeping these?
See, I do. So I sent out the invite to the Linux meeting this weekend, and I got a bounce from somebody I haven't gotten a bounce from for a long time. And that had me going back through my sent messages looking for his email address and stuff. It's a fellow named Pat McKelvey. I met him at Cincinnati Computer Cooperative. He attended a few meetings, wanted to start his own subgroup. I'm like, sure, go ahead. And I don't know what happened, but he stopped showing up. But I don't know. I have every email I've ever sent since 2004. And 2004 only because that's when I made a backup of all of my email.
Right.
And I just keep pushing it forward. It's, at least to me, it's kind of surprising at how little space email takes up.
Yeah, email doesn't take up much space. Unless there's a bunch of attachments or something. I got an email that I had completely forgot that I even had this email address, and apparently I had it forwarded to one of the email addresses I actually use. And I was like, oh, I still have a Yahoo account? Okay.
That's like still having an AOL account.
Oh, I still have one of those. I mean, I I actually use AOL quite a bit. That was the address that Dad could remember. He could remember the AOL address, and yeah. But Yahoo and AOL are owned by the same company now, I think. And I don't think there was... I don't even remember... I thought that I had gotten rid of Yahoo like a long time ago. When they got rid of the forums and everything, I thought I had gotten rid of them.
I've got a Yahoo email. For a while there, anytime you could get a free email address, I did.
Yeah.
So I just checked. 24-ish years worth of email is 11 gigs.
Oh.
Yeah.
My
Goes on one thumb drive.
Yep. No, it goes on 3 thumb drives.
A redundancy and then a backup to the redundancy.
Yep. Let's see how much is on the server in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people's worth of email is 19 gigs. So again, who cares?
19 gigs when you're talking about 80 terabytes is a drop in the bucket.
Mm-hmm. But honestly, those are some of the most important things on the server. If I lose the music, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I have round numbers about 50 movies that I watch enough that I bother to keep copies of them. But even those, I can call up Barry and say, "Hey, download this list for me," and he can get. I never learned all of the RStack stuff for how to download all of those things off of the, I'll call it the gray web, but whatever.
Yeah.
Most of them I at some point had the DVDs for, and may still have them. I think one of the all-time best movies, Gattaca.
Yeah.
Just everyone should watch Gattaca.
At least several times.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gattaca is actually a movie that, or a DVD that I owned at one point, got rid of my entire DVD collection, and now I'm starting to rebuild my collection. So
Yeah.
Gattaca is high on my list of.
I have the DVD if you want a copy of it.
Well, I would actually prefer to have the DVD to.
Yeah.
I have.
No. I meant I can make you a copy of that DVD.
Oh, right. I have a digital copy of it.
Mhm.
I mean, I can watch the movie, but I have started to get back into the whole physical media thing again, though. And Starship Troopers and Fifth Element, and I just got these just showed up a couple of weeks ago. Well, yeah, I guess they have. I guess it's been a couple of weeks. I just haven't messed with them much because of everything else that's going on.
Ah, nice. Is that the remastered version?
No, this is the original aired version. And I've got all three.
Nice.
So I've got the whole set. So
I kind of like the remastered when they're orbiting a planet and the planet actually has details instead of it's just all covered with clouds.
So like Pluto TV, they play the remastered versions, and they're fine, but there's something just charming about the goofiness of, the original.
Yeah. Do you have the animated series as well?
I do, but not on physical media.
So I was a huge Star Trek fan. I used to watch it with my grandmother all the time. And when the animated series came out, I was probably 9 or 10 and had been watching Star Trek reruns for quite a while. And I was always amused that some of them were just brand new, fresh, new stories, and some of them were just drawings of the original broadcasts. It was weird to me, and I liked that.
I liked, well, for whatever reason, when I was younger, I never really could get into the animated series. It may have been because of how it was drawn, or it was that what do they call that style, where it's like single frames and they just kind of pop the frame up and then it moves a little bit and there's a different frame. And I know they did that to save like a ton of money, but I think
Yeah, it was definitely pretty low budget.
yeah.
It was, how do we eke a few more dollars out of this series?
Oh, they canceled us before we could finish our 5-year mission. We need to do something. But no, the original series, non-special effects, non-remastered, has always had a special spot. This is my Star Trek. But, it's not that I hate the remasters. It's just if I'm going to watch them, I want to watch it without all that extra. I kind of feel the same way about Star Wars. You know,
On shot first.
I want to watch the original. I don't want to watch all these remasters of stuff. And I've got the original somewhere. I got the original on Laserdisc.
Really?
Yep.
Do you have a working Laserdisc player?
It was 6 months ago.
Cool.
Um,
I have one Laserdisc movie. Somebody gave it to me with a player, and one of my kids pushed the player off of a desk. I had it precariously balanced on an edge, verifying that it was working and everything. And I went to the kitchen to get something, and I hear clunk.
oops.
And I had nothing invested in it, and not the movie was maybe Grease. I don't know, something I didn't care about, but I still have that disc somewhere.
Yeah. So Patty calls those the lazy discs. And I don't really know why, because you have to actually physically get up and turn them over, which is anything but lazy. That seems like the working person disc. At one point, I had a very expensive, I think it was a Sony Laserdisc player that the read head of the player, when it reached to the end of the whatever side it was playing, it would flip the read head over onto the other side and play, so you didn't have to actually flip the disc over. It was
Just wait 30 seconds.
yeah, well, pretty much. It was a very expensive player that I picked up somewhere. And
So one head was playing upside down?
yeah, you could hear it. It would get to the end of the thing, and you could hear this big old chunk. It would go chunk chunk, and the player was like twice the size of normal players, 3 times the size of normal players. It was huge, and it did. And at one point, I was at an auction, and I bought a commercial grade Laserdisc player that would record.
Really?
Yes. Didn't get any discs for it, and could not find the discs to record with it. But they actually made something that did that. It was a commercial player, and it was another one that was just flipping insanely big. And Yeah, it would record. It was pretty obvious that it didn't take off either in the commercial world or otherwise, but I think I picked that up from a school auction for like $5, and it was
Ooh,
like, yeah, put that on
there's a
eBay.
$5,000 piece of equipment.
Put that on eBay. Yep, got rid of it.
So where did you get the blanks?
I didn't. I They didn't have any blanks at that school auction, and I couldn't find them. I had no idea how to make it work, so it just went right to eBay. Hi, Vicente.
Hi. You know,
I have Blade Runner on Laserdisc.
Excellent.
I have Star Wars Episode 4, 5, and 6 on Laserdisc. And what else? This Island Earth on Laserdisc. Logan's Run.
I think that's Logan's Run was when I first started to have a true appreciation of Farrah Fawcett.
and she's really not in the movie very long. Um, I have a couple of, I guess you would call them games. Murder by Many Roads to Murder and Murder Anyone. Were I'm not really even, I don't even know if I've ever played those discs, but I think they were games. I think they were like Clue-like games that you were supposed to play with other people. Um, Tron, the original Tron.
Ooh.
I've got that on Laserdisc. What else? Forbidden Planet. I think I've got Forbidden Planet on Laserdisc. Most of the Laserdiscs I've got are sci-fi in some form or another. If you ever, at least a few years ago, music discs, they weren't on the 12-inch laser discs. They were on, I guess it was closer to like a 45, the size of a 45 record. Those things used to be worth like a ton of money. So if you ever are at a flea market or somewhere and see a bunch of music on like 45-inch laser discs, and they don't want a whole lot of money for them, you probably ought to buy them and sell them on eBay.
Keep that in mind.
That for whatever reason they're either very rare or whatever. They seem to, yeah. Laserdisc players, as far as I know, they were like the first karaoke machines too. So you could find, you'd have to have the right Laserdisc player. Any Laserdisc player would play a karaoke disc, but not all of them will do the have the audio inputs and everything. So you could find the karaoke discs. Those used to bring a whole lot of money. Um, and the karaoke player, the one that had the two microphone inputs and the extra video monitor for the text to scroll across, those things used to be bring like a small fortune.
One I had but don't have anymore was Dragon's Lair.
Uh,
I worked on arcade games for
yeah.
about 6 years, and that was one I snagged up on.
Yeah, Dragon Slayer was on a laser disc. Yeah.
I had a weird sit-down video game, the ones that you see in like pizza shops and stuff that are 3 feet tall, glass top,
Mm-hmm.
horizontal tube. It was given to me. I forget where I got it, but it didn't work. The cabinet was in good condition. The glass was all nice. The buttons were all okay. It just didn't work. Powered on and started to go through ROM and then failed. And I couldn't find any information on it. Finally found a company name. I called them up, and there's some girl at the front desk that says, "Sir, we sell coffee machines. I don't know what you're talking about." I'm like, "Who's the oldest guy that works there? Can I talk to him?" And she's like, "Well, that's one of our engineers, and he might be busy." I'm like, send a note to him, give him my name and phone number, and tell him I'm interested in this arcade game. He'll understand. And sure enough, about an hour later, this guy calls me back and was able to send me a copy of the ROMs.
Wow.
And I had that thing in my kitchen for years. I mean, it's what I ate at. It was before I was married. And then I got married, moved out of an apartment, bought a trailer. We couldn't make payments on the trailer, and I left it there. Oh well, stuff happens. But that thing had a 4004 processor. It was an ancient Intel 4-bit processor, and it was basically Galaga, but like at half speed and with only 40 sprites on the screen ever. Usually closer to 20. It would start to stutter if it got too many sprites on the screen.
Mm. This will make you smile. Space Ace on Laserdisc. But that's not the part that will make you smile. They must have been selling this at some point at somewhere. $20.
Nice.
Man, I would have loved to have known where that was at. Look what they want for it now.
Yeah.
Somebody added a sleeve for it, made a sleeve for it, and put a little sticker on it. It's $20. Gotta love that. And it says you could watch it as a full animated show. I guess you can't play it. You probably need a special player or something. But I had bought a whole room of Apple II computers from a school auction. This had to have been, I know it was 20 years ago, before people even cared about the retro whatever and the vintage computers, and before they were worth something. They were always worth something. I bought an entire room, and I get them home. There's probably 50 to 100 of these machines in various states. Probably 90% of them worked without a problem, any problem at all. But I started looking through like the add-on cards that were in there, and I came across this weird network card that I had never heard of, never seen. And there's a guy's name on it and a date. And I think it said Dayton, Ohio, maybe. I Googled this guy. I emailed him. I said, I don't know if you're the one that actually made these or not, but I bought a whole bunch of computers from a school auction. Can you tell me, if you're the one who made these, can you tell me what this network is and how to make it work? Because that would be really, really cool to have a whole network of Apple IIe's in my house. He emails me back and he said, it is me. I am the one that made that. I have forgotten about that. He had made that a long time ago. Said he moved on and built like a better version, and 2 or 3 versions later, and he said, I have completely lost the original designs to version 1.0, which is what you've got. What do you want for all those cards? And I said, well, what would you give me for all those cards? And he said, now mind you, I only paid like $100 for this room. It was like $500. Okay. Sure. I don't need to make a network work that badly.
Were those school bus cards?
They were not school bus. They were something else. But he was a really cool guy. He talked, emailed for what seemed like, 5 or 6 pages of stuff about these cards, and then said, I don't have those anymore. Can I buy them from you? I'm like, sure. Sure, you can buy them from me.
Everything's for sale for the right price.
Well, I mean, that was back when I was doing eBay. I was going to sell them anyways. I was just trying to find out some information about what they were so I could be semi-knowledgeable when I tried to sell them. These things, I think they worked without software. They just worked.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like the school bus. What those did was let the teacher
watch what you were doing.
View what was on any screen.
Yeah.
They could select which one at any point in time, and the first one that powered up was the school bus, was the teacher's machine. And I discovered, it was my first hardware hack, that you could short 2 pins and reset your thing, and it became the teacher's. Yeah. And that was fun.
So
made taking tests easier.
I remember he talked about school bus, but this wasn't school bus. I think school bus came after this.
Okay, probably based on that.
Yeah. He said that the network that I had, it was an early version of whatever they were using now. So it was something they were, I guess, testing in various and sundry spots. but he didn't have any of the original cards anymore. So maybe it was related to school bus, but it wasn't school bus.
He went on to sue whoever made school bus, proving that he had the earlier version. He made $5 million. He
Probably.
gave you 500.
Yeah, that might be it. He might have needed the card so he could prove that he actually made it. No, I don't remember what this. It was a weird name. It wasn't school bus. He may have had something to do with school bus though, because he was talking about how it was an early prototype. So
Yeah. I mean, all the ones we had, the school bus, it just copied out the video RAM.
mm-hmm.
It wasn't that much. It went over a serial interface on telephone wiring, and it took 3 seconds, I guess.
This looked more like a token ring kind of deal.
Yeah, school bus was token ring. Well, I mean, it wasn't token ring, but there were 2 jacks on each card,
Yeah.
and you plugged into the one to the left, and the one to your right plugged into yours
Yeah,
in a big circle.
This had more. It looked. It looked more like a token ring connector with the T. Yeah, see, I think I even got some of the network wire. It was wild. It was a wild setup. And he said that the teacher, the computer that was designated teacher, could monitor and could type, finish out typing on the remote machine. It does sound an awful lot like school bus. I don't think that's what it was called.
And I'm not finding anything on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to Google it. Yeah, all I see is, yeah.
Excuse me.
Get your Apple II on the internet. I don't want my Apple II on the internet. I want my Apple II to talk to other Apple IIs, not on the internet.
If you spell 2 right with square brackets, that really confuses it.
So I found some stuff about school bus. Let's see if this card is photos. No, that is not what I had. Not even close. That's the only picture it's got though. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, there really isn't a whole lot. Here's a picture of it, of a school bus card. But that's not what I had.
Yeah, and that's not what we had. Huh. Ours had phone jacks, regular telephone jacks. RJ22, I guess.
Yeah.
The handset cord.
The one I had, so you had something like that that was token ring, or not like that.
No,
That's a patch board.
it was just a standard phone jack,
Okay.
but the handset cord size.
So it just has two wires.
No, it had four. The one going from the wall to the phone is two, but the one going from the phone to the handset has four wires.
Okay.
But it's a smaller plug than the one going to the wall.
The card I had looked more like that without that. It just had the BNC connector.
Okay.
Um,
So an NE2000 style.
More like that, yes. Without the RJ45 connector.
Yeah.
He said it was an early version of whatever it was they were doing. So, because when I saw it with the BNC connector, I honestly thought it was a token ring, and I was like, I have never seen an Apple II that could get on the internet. And he said, that's not what it was for. It was so that the teacher could monitor various whatever. I kind of, there was like some jumpers in there, and one of the jumpers you could move over and become the teacher, kind of doing what you were doing. And I think that there was something that set the address, so the teacher knew how to get to the machine that they were looking for or whatever. But it was, I don't know, it was a very weird setup. The guy was really nice, and he bought the cards.
Yeah.
So if he went on to sue and make a claim that they were doing it first, he made millions of dollars. I would want some, but that's fair. What's interesting, it's even when you just type in Apple II school bus network, there's only like a handful of pictures that show up. It's
There was a lot of stuff available for the Apple II series. An awful lot of stuff that was made in quantities of 100.
Yeah. It was a machine that you could tinker with. I mean, and the cards that I had definitely looked like it was some project, you know. They had the guy's name on them and the date and a couple other things that were clues on how to get a hold of him, but it definitely looked like it was somebody said we could do that and they did it. Kind of deal.
I miss ICs that were big enough that you could hand draw a circuit board with an etchant resist pen.
You know,
Yeah.
Everything now is, I designed it in this CAD package and sent it off to JLP PCBs and got it back in 3 weeks, and it didn't work. And so I tried again and tried again, and finally got it to work.
You want to turn your Raspberry Pi into an apple?
Oh, nice.
Or maybe that's to add your Raspberry Pi to the apple?
Hold on, it tells what it does. It's a virtual hard drive.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't need that. uh, the I don't know. I really don't. I really don't know nothing. So we are virtual again next week, and other than that, I don't know nothing. I'm just here. So I think me and Patty are probably going to go out for dinner today because I don't really think there's anything to eat. So we might actually go eat. And other than that, I don't know. I don't even know what we're doing for dinner. So
today was the launch of the Starship,
did
and
it leave?
was screwed again because the weather.
Oh,
It was at 6:30, like the last week. But
okay.
they screwed it 4 hours ago, so I didn't tell anything because no sense. But for you to know,
Uh,
So they scrubbed it when?
yeah, because the weather.
So the previous time they scrubbed it like at 0 on the
Yes.
countdown.
and now was several hours before the launch.
And they one of the Falcons got scrubbed not too long ago too, right? One of the little Falcon 9s.
They are sending Falcons every day.
Yeah.
So
Well,
let's see this week.
yep. Maybe something will change. You ruined me, Vicente.
Why?
You made me talk to AI like many times to get programming ideas.
Yeah,
It's your fault.
nice.
It's your fault.
But you can do stuff with it. It's nice. Just be careful. You need to check. But you save a lot of time looking for samples or whatever.
Well, that's what I was saying. You know, got all kinds of stuff working with that I wouldn't have been able to. It would have taken forever to figure some of this stuff out. But Gemini and me, we cracked it. We figured it out. We got different animation styles and all kinds of stuff working on it.
Right.
And the clock, that's not coming from the ESP32. That's built into. It's using the clock inside the display now.
Real-time clock.
It's not a real-time clock. It's just a crystal oscillator clock.
Okay.
So
you
it
lose
lose-
the time when you turn off.
Well, yeah, I've got it set to update the clock every hour to reset it, but
Okay.
you can see all the different animation stuff. A lot of that stuff I wouldn't have been able to figure out. So,
Right.
but you ruined me. Now I'm asking AI stuff.
Sorry.
All right, it's all
This is the
right.
future. This is the future.
It's the future. All right, I will see everybody next week, hopefully.
See you all.
All right,
Good night.
good night.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Oh, I like it. Oh,
It's for the cup.
Oh, it's a
Nice.
toaster.
nice, nice.
Bye.
All right, bye, bye, bye.